welcome back to my channel. Maps on the map. Maps on the map. To those who don't know me, my name is Maps. Welcome everyone to my channel. Good to see you. As some of you might know, is that we are in lockdown currently here in Shanghai. Exciting times, difficult times actually, like it's been so hard, but I thought I should just share a little bit of my experience of how it's going here. It's crazy how this thing started in 2020 and like now we're still here. It's like 2020 again, like 2022. But the thing with 2020 though, for those who don't know, Shanghai, it went through somewhat of a lockdown, but things were not as hectic here. So this time round, this year, things just went crazy, like super crazy. Let me just start. Like for me, the experience started on, I think it was the 10th. Thursday evening. I remember we're sitting at work, like, finishing off, and the next thing I know is like all my colleagues are like packing their bags so quickly. I'm like, we still have time, like, guys, it's 4:58, like, where are we rushing to? And my colleague just says, hey, we need to get out of here now. I'm like, what's happening? She's like, don't ask any questions, just pack your bags and let's go. So during that time, it was common in Shanghai, especially this year, the beginning of this year, to be locked out of a building because there was either like a close contact or a case within that area. So if someone tested positive and they found out they've been to, let's say, KFC, and you are in that particular KFC at that moment, they will come shut it down, and like anyone who's in there has to get tested and wait for their results. So whatever time they came to test you and get the results is when you will go. So you might wait till like 8 p.m. to get tested, and then you still have to wait for whatever hours, like 6 hours or so, to get your results back. So you could end up going home the next day. So it was like a nerve-wracking thing at the same time, like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be locked down here. Is that why they're saying run away? So so I just listened and went home, and it was it was scary because I was just like, okay, what happened? Are they gonna call us back to get tested? Or are they like, do we go to work tomorrow? What's happening? Because there was no announcement. Friday came, that was the 11th of March. I remember we got them and it was just like really, I don't know, it was confusing, and we're like, okay, do I need to worry? Are we gonna get locked down here? Because we didn't get locked down yesterday. We get locked down here today. And I remember they told us that no, the whole kindergarten is gonna get tested. So basically at that time they were testing all schools and all kindergartens. When it was dark outside, like around 6-7ish, the kids got tested and they went home. So on Friday the 11th, I went home at 8 p.m. and they told us that starting from the 12th, which is a Saturday, there will no longer be classes offline, so we'd all go online, but the teachers must come to work on Monday. And I was grumbling like, oh my gosh, why do we need to come on Monday? We are also at risk. Like, the kids are at risk, but we're also at risk too. Why are you making us come to work? Stop, no. And I was dreading it. But actually we went back to work on Monday to have discussions on how we're going to do online lessons, preparing and getting whatever materials we needed to take home. And at that time they told us like there will be someone going to the kindergarten every day. So like if you needed something, or maybe let's say Wi-Fi is not working or what's not, you could go to the kindergarten or go to the office and use it, because like the kindergarten was in lockdown. On a Thursday or something, I can't remember the date, my colleague messages me and she's like, hey, how are you? And I'm like, okay. So we have a little bit of a chat. Actually, it was a phone call. She's like, how are you doing? Listen, Shanghai is going to be testing different areas. So they're going to shut down each community for 2 days and test them. So you need to make sure you have enough food, right? And I was like, okay. She's like, stock up. And I'm like, okay, but that's just 2 days. So what do I buy? She's like, buy as much food as you can. So I thought, okay, let me do that, because hey, if they were to find a case, would most probably be locked in for 14 days, right? And so I was like, okay, I went to the stores and I bought some stuff, tried to stock up as much as possible, but I didn't know when it was going to happen. So I thought it was going to be Thursday and Friday. Thursday came, Thursday went. Friday came, Friday went. And then Saturday, I was like, how do you even know if you're locked down or not? Like, if I don't go out, I wouldn't know, right? But then someone knocked on my door, like, and I was like, okay. And then this man came and he told me in Chinese that they've closed for 2 days and was going to do a test. So for me, because my Chinese is not that great, I was thankful that I knew the context of what was happening, and I knew some words I could understand. So I remember hearing Guanmen, which is like closed doors or closed gates, Liang Tian, which is 2 days, and He Suan, which is COVID test, and Sandian Dao Sidian. Gates are closed for 2 days. Do a COVID test from 3 to 4. Got it. And so that's what I did on Saturday. I went down to get tested, and so Sunday we were supposed to go again, but there was no communication about what time to go. So I thought, hey, let me go there at between 3 and 4 again, because that was the times for last time. So I thought our building goes at that time, right? I went there and there was nobody, and I thought, okay, no one is here. And I thought, okay, maybe today we're not doing it. But then as I was walking around the neighborhood, I noticed they had like a blue tent outside another building. So I'm like, oh, is this where we're doing the test? So I went there to see and asked them, like, yo, we're doing the test? I'm like, no, COVID test is finished. Like, they finished a long time ago. And I was thinking, what? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, okay, so if I didn't do it, what must I do? So they tell me to go to the neighborhood committee and tell them. I went there. They were like, oh, don't worry, it's okay. You did it yesterday. It's okay. Little did I know, because I thought, okay, the next day, Monday, they're going to open the gates and we're going to go out. Yay, yay, yay. No, jokes on us. They added 2 more days. So one thing that was helpful as well for me to find out how that they added 2 more days was that a new friend told me that I should look for a QR downstairs, like next to the elevators there's a QR. Scan that QR and then you'll get into a group. So in that group, like, they announce like things, right, like what's happening. So in that group they announce that, oh, in our street, if in the street there is a case, then we'll be closed down for another 2 days and stuff. So from this date to this date we're going to be closed down. So it wasn't really specific. It was up to our interpretation to think, oh, okay, so I guess there's a case here, we'll see tomorrow what happens. And tomorrow, the next day, of course, it was closed and we had to go get tested. And then for those 2 days we got tested. But then as soon as we reached the second day, they were like, they added another 2 days. And as soon as we reached that, they added, you got it, another 2 days. And then after that, they decided to let us know that there is a case in the community. Remember that building that I told you had a blue tent on it? Apparently there was a case there. And there are other buildings within the compound that were that had cases. And it wasn't, how do I say it? They just said there are cases in the community, so because of that we're going to be locked down until further notice. They didn't say 14 days, they didn't say when. Because nothing is being communicated clearly, people are spreading rumors. So the next rumor is the whole of Shanghai is going to be locked down. So try get as much groceries as you can, right? So I also get that message from a friend, and I tried to buy things online, and it was difficult at that time, but not as difficult as it is today to get on to buy things online. So I get online to try buy things. Things are a little bit expensive, but you know, I stock up, and I'm not sure if it's real or not because it hasn't been announced on local news, right? So then people outside there that are free, they are just like piling up, like buying things, like things are just getting off the market. And then the government the next day is like, guys, there's no lockdown, relax, no lockdown. That was Friday, right? Monday they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna lock down Shanghai in 2 parts. So we're gonna lock down Pudong first, that's my area, and then we're going to lift the lockdown on the 1st of April, and then we're going to lock down Puxi, the other side of Pudong, from the 1st to the 5th. So at the end of the day, they were actually locking down the entire city, but just in different parts, right? So then I'm like, well, I'm still in lockdown, what does it mean? So then I'm thinking on the 1st, I'll get to have my freedom. Someone messaged me and they're like, hey Maps, do you have food? And I was like, yeah, but yeah, I have food. She was like, get as much food as possible. Then you might struggle to buy food and stuff. And I'm like, well, like on the 1st of April, we getting out, so it will be fine. She's like, nah, we might be locked down until the 15th of April, so just stock up. And I'm literally like, Shama, what? And then I think the next day or 2 days later, the government gave us food. There was 2 days left of the lockdown to be lifted, and they gave us food. Like our community got 5 kgs of rice and some vegetables. So I'm like, yeah, why would they give us food if they lifting the lockdown in 2 days? Like, we could literally buy the food ourselves, right? The 1st came. The 1st is gone. We're still locked down in this compound. And today's the 6th, right? Puxi was locked down. It was supposed to be lifted on the 5th, which was yesterday. Well, it will be a different day by the time you watch this video. But they extended the lockdown until further notice. We're still here. I have no idea when we're going to open again, but right now, as of right now, that rumor became true, and the whole of Shanghai is under lockdown. It's difficult to buy things online. Like before, it was so easy to just buy groceries online, but everyone is online trying to buy, and now people are buying through groups. And if, like, for example, you're in a community like mine, and everything is all in Chinese, like, it's tough because I have no idea how to order things. But something that I'm grateful for is that my community, like some people that I've met earlier on when I moved here last year August, they started reaching out to me like, hey, are you okay? Do you have enough food? How can we help? So that was really nice of them to reach out to me, and like, if you need anything, just shout. So that was really kind. And whenever I have questions like, okay, what does this mean, then I'll just go and ask them. Like yesterday, the government sent us medicine. Let me show you. They sent us this. Probably won't, like, all of it is in Chinese, right? I don't need to take it, but I think I should ask, okay, like, how do you even take this? But I remember sometime I had a cold, and like maybe 2 years ago or something, and the doctor gave me this. So they said that I guess they recognize that we might get sick and it might be difficult to get cough medicine or what's not. I'm not sure. But we got some medicine yesterday, so that was really kind of them. It's really scary to know that if anyone is to test positive, then they will be taken to quarantine or isolation center. And like some of those places, there's basically no privacy, there's no showers. It's rough in there, and there's just like beds right next to each other. Most of us, we are complying, staying put, and trying to really do our best to follow what the government wants us to follow to achieve the goal that they want to achieve. I guess it has to be like, everyone's cooperation. Otherwise, it's not good. Like, for us not to like cooperate just means we're gonna be in this situation even longer, I guess. So let's cooperate. Wow. So yeah, that's what it is. So because like of food prices and the difficulty of buying food and all of that, I'm thinking like this lockdown, like we're going to turn out different. Like we're gonna come out light skinned or super pale because this is the only way I can get some sunshine. Or when I go get tested. And also like can't be eating like crazy. Like there's no junk food, there's no KFC, there's no binge eating, because then the next day you're gonna be hungry. So like we're about to lose some weight, so we're just gonna be like skinny and light skinned or pale when we come out of here. Might be looking like zombies. But yeah, it's a tough time, but we remain hopeful because, God is our hope. Like God is my hope. Whenever I feel so down, I honestly deep down inside feel like it's okay. Like I'm okay. There's nothing to worry about, and that's honestly something that keeps me going. Like I'm like, but Maps, you're okay. You're okay. Why are you worried? You're okay, like whatever happens, I'm okay because God is with me. That's something that I am carrying with me throughout. My prayer is that this be it, like there be no waves anywhere else, that our land recovers, our people recover, and that we move on to this. I want to say move on to other challenges, but I'm not. No one gets excited by other challenges or calls on a different challenge. But like just to say, like I hope this ends soon for everyone, and this is like literally the closing, like the exit of COVID. Hope you all have a fantastic day or evening, whatever time you're watching this. Know that you are blessed. Know that you are loved, and I pray for all the best for you, all the good health, good vibes, love, blessings, joy, peace for you and your family. See you in my next video. See you in my next video.